What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to the Punk Rock Review. We're hanging out tonight.
Kicking it.
This is actually, I wish I could have found the comment. So for whoever said this comment, I owe you an apology. My apologies. This was directly a request from a watcher of this channel, and I'm so irritated that I thought I screenshotted it and I can't find it. But somebody asked me specifically to do these two albums. So we're talking about Vini Vidi Vici from The Forgotten and American Dreamer by Brain Failure. Now, the Forgotten record is one that I've listened to a lot in the past, say 18 months. But the Brain Failure record is one that I haven't listened to in like 10 years, maybe more than that. Like, it's been a long time. And so it was kind of cool, man. I knew I wanted to listen to the Forgotten record, but I thought, you know what, the Brain Failure one, that would make a good episode. So before we get started on this, I just want to let everybody know that this episode is brought to you by our community, man. I don't have a sponsor, but we do have a Patreon. If you want to check it out, I would appreciate it. If you don't, you do not have to, but there are some perks. We're working on Patreon exclusive live streams. We've got an exclusive Discord. I do monthly giveaways, input on the channel, of course, exclusive content, bonus footage and such. And I'm fixing to start putting up every episode of the podcast on Patreon with no ads. So if you want to watch it without ads, check out Patreon. It's as low as $2 a month. It is important. It's appreciated. But it's not a must. You don't have to. So if you want to, check it out. If you don't. But thank you guys for all the support. I'm trying to really kick this into gear, man. I need to start. Dude, I'm just trying to make some things happen for some bands. Really, it's not even my money. That's not the issue. I have another source of income to a degree. So it's more or less I just have more records I want to put out, and it's hard to do. So it's hard to travel for these shows and such, but we got a pretty great community, man. Like people that hang out with us and stuff. Yeah, dude. Like shout out to like the homies. Y'all know who you are. Shout out to all the live stream homies. That's when like
it's like a core group of people that never miss a stream.
Yeah,
a bunch of them are in the. I'm sure Patreon subscribers too in the Discord. So.
Quite a few of them, yes.
Yeah.
We're not Micah. Definitely not Micah, and not so much Kim. Everybody else though.
Really?
No, I'm totally just no.
I was gonna say
I'm definitely
those are the two people that are.
Those are like the two people I talk to probably the most. Them and Rusty and Darren. There's a whole bunch of people, but like those, I talk to Kim all the time. She's probably like, you cursing me out right now. Anyways, dude, shout out Kim for cursing me out, dude. Straight up, it is what it is. Sometimes it happens like that. But I vote that we talk about the Forgotten first because I think we'll have a lot more to talk about Brain Failure.
Yeah. Definitely.
Mainly because I took notes on all this. I mean, I could probably talk for 2 hours on the Forgotten, but I think that they're the more, I don't know what the right word is. I don't want to say popular, but it probably is the right word. Band of the two.
I would say
at least now.
Yeah, definitely.
But back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, dude, both these bands were heavily on my radar, and I saw both of them play. I only got to see Brain Failure once, and we'll talk about that again in a little bit. But The Forgotten, I think I've only seen once or twice as well. I haven't seen them a bunch either. But as y'all all know, Gordy is now my best friend. So, no, shout out Gordy. That dude's awesome. We just talked the other day.
Where does he live? LA?
I can't remember.
Is he on the West Coast?
I think LA. My memory is really bad about stuff like that. But
no problem.
The Forgotten, they're from San Jose. That's your hometown, right?
That's where I grew up. Yeah.
Let's go, dude. And so what year did this album come out? I had that pulled up and I closed it a minute ago.
2001, I think.
2001, bro. Okay, so for anybody that's wondering, if the picture should be on the screen, but if it's not, looks like this. I love the artwork. It's very 2001. But when this album came out, I worked at a tattoo shop. That's the whole reason that I bought this. I didn't even know that they had a relationship with like Lars or anybody. I had no idea. I just bought it from that, and then whenever Lars and the Bastard stuff, I put it together like, oh wait, that's that dude. And so I just didn't have the knowledge on them back then. It didn't take long, but TKO Records, man, this is probably their most popular album. What is it, like 12 songs or so, 14 songs maybe? It's like 30 minutes exactly, almost.
Yeah.
It's 12 tracks, 30 minutes, and almost exactly. So. Have you heard this album before?
I must have at some point in my youth. you know, in a garage somewhere at someone's house, you know, like drinking 40s at a skate park, you know.
That actually sounds.
That's the kind of place you would hear a record like this, right?
Yes, this is a house party record. This is a house party record.
Yeah, it's a very if you're kicking it with a bunch of punks, this one's probably going to be in the rotation. And you know, like if you set the stage, you know, early 2000s, bunch of people that are 16, 17, 18,
skateboarding, smoking cigarettes, 19, drinking 40s. Yeah, bro.
Yeah, this is the kind of shit that would be on, you know what I mean, the radio or the, you know, with like, you know, Rancid and I don't know, Operation Ivy.
Yeah.
These are all the fucking classics, you know.
I think that they're a pretty important band, honestly, because they are like, I would say that they're probably not as big as bands like The Unseen and A Global Threat, but not by much. There's very, very small margin there, I'd say. But there's this like sliding scale of melody that are in those kind of bands. And you have like A Global Threat is pretty much just straightforward street punk. And then before you get to a band like Rancid, you'll have a band like The Forgotten. It's like heading towards it. So like there's a they need to exist because there's some people will get to this point and that's as much as they're taking with the punk stuff. They're like, I don't want any more screaming than this. This is as much as I want. Like I know people like that. They like only melodic music. They like stuff with a certain sheen to it. And you know, I think it's a bridge that helps a lot of people get to and from the punk rock world that they want to, you know, inhabit, if so to speak. I agree. Yeah. I hadn't heard this in a little while up until about a year and a half ago, and I started really going hard on the channel. And then somebody came in my shop probably about a year and a half ago and brought a CD collection, and this was in it. And I was like, oh, I haven't heard that in so long. And I put it on at the shop, and I was like, well, I guess I'm taking that home. And I try not to do that too much, but bro, it's a good record.
So you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
Dude, have at it, brother.
Well, so this is one of those bands that was really kind of off my radar at the time. And they're from where I grew up. They were all around that area. The thing is that the type of there's scenes, you know, there's like punk scenes, you know, you got the more East Bay Lookout stuff going on that's a little more like, you know, I don't know, for lack of
Ivy, Crimp Shrine, Green Day, even.
Yeah, like kind of socially conscious, like lyrics, a little bit less on like this like straight ahead kind of street punk side. 15. But then again, you know, you had a lot of like, and then at that time, I mean, I'm trying to think back. I was really getting into like during this time period, it was more Lawrence Arms for me, you know, Dillinger 4. So I was heading in a different direction than this record in terms of my sensibilities.
Sure.
You know, if I was like 16 and heard this record, I would have been all over it, you know? But at that point, I was kind of in a different place mentally. And I just wasn't looking for that kind of music, you know?
Dude, it's funny because I think that this kind of falls in like the 77 style punk, but it's a little faster than that.
Right.
And I think that I was just born to love that kind of music because throughout my whole life. So like I got into Lawrence Arms and even like Alkaline Trio and what's the other band? What's the Broadways? I got into all that stuff. Right. I've always been into like Crimp Shrine and Op Ivy, of course, and Green Day's to a degree, more so now even than I used to be into Green Day. And then like 15, I kind of dabbled in a little bit. But I got into that stuff early, all right? The East Bay stuff I got into pretty early. But the street punk stuff, I've always had this like it's probably my favorite genre of music. Bar none.
Yeah.
And then I got into the Lawrence Arms stuff a little later. Like I was probably like I had like flip flop, dude. I was like, I got into all this stuff. Well, I guess it's not really flip flop.
Yeah.
It was just a little later than you did. Like I was probably like 23 or so.
Sure.
Before I ever heard the Lawrence.
I mean, it was a little bit later than me, but you know, around the same. Like you're talking between 2000 to like 2003, 4. You know what I'm saying? So, at that time, I was really just more into like Jawbreaker and shit like that, and like that type of punk, you know. But
not punk type of punk.
What's that?
I said like the not punk type punk.
I mean, it's punk. It's just
no. I'm just being.
but so the funny thing about this band though, The Forgotten, is like they though they're a street punk band, there's this undercurrent of very East Bay influenced style.
Right. Yeah.
You can hear it in their music.
You can hear it.
it's there. You know what I mean? Like you can tell they're really influenced by all the Lookout era stuff too. It's like for as much as they love the Clash and Rancid, they love Crimpshrine and like all that shit too. You can kind of hear it in the music a little bit, and like I think that's kind of what and the beat and the way they play and like the melodies and stuff. And for that reason, I think they're very quintessential in that sound. And for that reason, they sound like Rancid's little brother, you know, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I mean, it just does. I mean, it's like if you took Rancid's first record and like had another band replicate a lot of the songs, it would be this record in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I didn't hear that at all, dude.
Really?
I heard like maybe Out Come the Wolves era Rancid, but I didn't hear nothing off their first couple of
There's a
records.
couple of songs on this
maybe some Let's Go stuff, but and to be clear, I know that they're all fans of that stuff, so
Yeah.
you're probably not wrong. I just didn't hear it, but like, well, we were talking earlier, like off stream, of course, but you know, different areas look at stuff like that different. And you were saying like, hey, a lot of people back in that day would think that these guys, they would give them crap for being like Rancid-ish in sound. And I was like, oh, that's funny because down here we all kind of thought it was awesome that they sounded like that. But I was thinking about that, dude, because it's been like what 2 hours since we were talking about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it, man, and it goes right back to like all the problems that I've had with discovering punk music has been because I'm from Houston. I think that's probably why we didn't look at that kind of stuff the same, because we were just excited to have another band that might tour down here, because y'all were getting to see the stuff pretty frequently. Like if this band existed up there, well, that's where their hometown is at. So they played there frequently, right? But so did all the big bands. We like you said, how would y'all have felt if 30 Foot Fall had a band that sounded just like them? And I was like, dope, we would like that, dude. Like Bickley, Middle Finger, like we love those bands. Like, but we had just a smaller number of bands. So like we didn't even have the opportunity to be like, copycat. It was just more like, ooh, band. Like,
yeah. And you got to think too. I mean, you know, this is the home of like maximum rock and roll and like fucking all that shit. So there's a lot of pretension and like judgment within the punk community. Now, I'm not saying that the Forgotten didn't have success or a niche that they fell into, but they ran with a very street punk type of crowd.
Right.
And those were the people that were like maybe 10, 15 years older than me. You know what I'm saying? That were like Lars is from San Jose too, right? Lars friends from the back. You know, Lars is from San Jose. And so I was doing some research on this band, actually, The Forgotten, and it turned out that Gordy and Lars played in a band called Slip.
Yeah, I put some of their stuff on the channel
back in the early 90s, right? So you know, I found it really, I don't have enough time to maybe like look that much, but I couldn't find any of their music on YouTube.
There's not much of it available.
Yeah. And I think they had a split with the Swingin' Utters at one point in like 1994.
Well, that's cool.
So they had a full length, a 7-inch, and a split with Swingin' Utters and broke up. The guitar player from The Forgotten ended up moving to LA and played in a Plus 44 with Mark Hoppus.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's like one of those guys, like
just awesome, dude.
He wanted to make like an industry dude, you know what I'm saying? So he left to LA to go play guitar. And honestly, the standout performance on that record is the guy playing guitar, in my opinion. As someone that listens to musical instruments a lot,
I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that with that knowledge. You know, that'll change the way I listen to the record.
I like
it's a decent album.
I like the drumming on that record from the standpoint of musicianship. They do a good job. So that guy, I guess, according to their history, went down to LA to go be a studio guy and just work with a bunch of different acts. I think he played in a band with Juliette Lewis too, the actress.
Oh, cool. I know somebody that plays in a band with her.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Juliet and the Licks. Well, I don't know them. Kevin does. Shout out Kevin.
Yeah.
I know them through Kevin, sort of. I don't actually know them really. Like, it's more Kevin. Let me be very clear about that. I'm not trying to like, I hate people that do that and never explain it. Like, it's not really like my friend. I don't want to be, I'm not a fraud. But
for sure.
Let me be also people that are watching this, you may not know this, but I did talk to Gordy recently, and he does talk about a lot of that stuff. The video, I'll put that in the description if you want to check it out. It's cool, man. Gordy is like one of the nicest people that I've ever talked to within punk rock. And I've had the pleasure of speaking with some really great people. He's just super nice, man. Super fun to talk to. But I think that there's a distinct difference in the East Bay sound and look and lyrical content and then like your typical street punk band, right? So I can see how there'd be like, oh, that's just another band that sounds kind of like Rancid. We don't have time for that. I can see why that would be. If you're from that area listening to that music and that's your jam, then you might not care about another version of a band you've already got. But from my perspective,
Right.
I couldn't get enough of it. I wanted more of it. I mean,
Definitely.
we're gonna talk about another one in just a minute, but we had The
Yeah.
Forgotten, we had Left Alone, Time Again, The Distillers came out. Eventually we ended up getting The Interrupters. Now, in my opinion, I hear very distinct and very clear differences in all of these bands.
Hmm.
It's just like anything else. If you hear, like, if you, as an example, I don't listen to a lot of rap. When I hear rap, sometimes I go, oh, it just sounds like so and so. People go, what? No, it
Yeah.
sounds so different. It's just like that.
Right.
So I
Right.
hear this music and I go, I don't know, man. This sounds so different to me. But I can understand why you would think it sounds the same. It's just like listening to a Pennywise record. If you're not a fan of that band, you're going to be like, oh, they all the songs sound the same. When
Mhm.
I listen to it and I go, I don't even know how you say that. Like, to me, it all sounds, I mean, so my point is, I see both sides of that coin. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of disrespectful to say that and be kind of crappy about it. But I also think that the bands probably don't care. So
No, I mean, it's not
the
like,
Forgotten got pretty big, dude. They were doing a lot of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. It's I'm not trying to like rib
No,
on it.
no, not you. No, no, not you. I didn't say you were. I'm just saying, like, in general.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I totally agree with that. I mean, and again, like what they did was honest and genuine, and I think that they made music that they actually liked and played it, and
A lot of people forget to do that.
so I mean, that's what more could you ask for in a band? And honestly, the record's fun. It's a fun little romp,
So let's talk about that for a minute. So
Sure.
it's called Vini Vidi Vici. That means I came, I saw, I conquered, right? I have always loved little sayings like that and little slogans.
Right.
So just the artwork, the name of the album, and then the style of music is something that was going to grab me pretty quick. And I hear everything from a little Rancid and The Clash to some Motorhead and even some One Man Army in this album. I mean, I heard a lot of different sounds that
Hmm.
really attracted me to this record.
Yeah.
This is the first time I sat down and listened to it with the uh, intent of like reviewing it.
Right.
So I listened to it a couple of times through with a different, just idea. Um, it opens up with a song called "I'm Bored." Dude, it's like a blistering fast street punk anthem. It's like just got great guitar work,
Yep.
group vocal parts. I absolutely love that song. I think that some people really like. I would actually say that you're in this camp, but I don't know if this means that you feel this way necessarily. But I know that you also like a little more lo-fi music. And I think that this album honestly toes the line. It's like pretty well produced and well made,
Yeah.
but it doesn't sound like, let's say, let's just say it doesn't sound like a 94 the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones album that came. Let's face it doesn't have that, like, I don't know what else to call it. It's like this just like major label sound where it's like just a little too clean. Like, this looks like they might have wiped off a seat and sat on it instead of like sprayed it down and wiped it and maybe resurfaced it. It's like just sit down.
Yeah. I mean, it has a very
It's well
late
produced. That's my
early
point.
2000s style kind of production, you know.
It's a
It
sound I
could,
really like.
what's that?
I
Sorry.
said it's a sound I really like.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's clean, but it's not too clean. Um, it just sounds like they I actually saw who recorded the record and all that stuff and like mastered it because I always look at that shit. And the guy
That's
that
cool.
yeah, it was a dude that mastered a bunch of like the punk stuff in that time. So I don't think that they really intended on making hyper clean and polished record at all.
Right.
So
Well, I mean, if you ask the band, I would be flabbergasted if they were like, "Yeah, dude, we were trying to like break new ground and reinvent the wheel. We needed to make something insanely different." No, dude, they wanted to make a punk rock and roll record. Like, and I think that that's okay. I don't understand people that want something different all the time. I'll take different if it comes across the table and I like it. I'll take that. I
yeah,
mean, shoot, this whole cold oil movement thing 3, 4, 5 years ago, none of us listened to this stuff. So,
right.
like, I'll take different, I'll take new. But dude, there's something to be said for like, okay, I already like this kind of music. Now impress me. I think that's just as difficult. Like, to put out a record that sounds like something I like and it still be something I enjoy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that's hard to do, man.
No,
Um,
I totally agree. Yeah, absolutely.
I
I
thought it
think,
was. Go ahead.
now I was gonna say I think that this type of music really peaked during the early to mid 2000s.
Very much. I would agree with that.
And they were kind of like riding the wave of that sound quite a bit.
Both of the albums we're talking about tonight did.
Yeah.
The second song is actually called Second Class Citizen. It's a little slower, no less good though.
Right.
It's a song about class war, which lyrically these guys are hitting all the talking points that I enjoy for the most part. I do like a little bit of East Bay stuff. They are lyrically a little different. The bands like Crimp Shrine and 15 and Alp Ivy, they do have a little different lyrical style.
It's just it's a little more deep, maybe, or thoughtful.
It's just different. It comes from a different perspective. It's a different style of punk, and like this is more anthemic, and that stuff is more thought provoking, maybe.
Totally.
And absolutely. I think that's okay. I mean, that second song is a really good hook as well, by the way.
Yeah.
The third song has a ridiculous bass line, dude. It's like it's like super bouncy, dude. I really enjoy it. Let's see. It's called Won't Stay Long, by the way. Oh, it's a good, I forgot that's a love song. The background vocals on that one add a lot of depth to it. It's a good punk rock heartbreak song. Good guitar riff in that song, just like the actual like bass line guitar riff. If that made any sense. The opening bass line was really good. I enjoyed it. The the bass line guitar riff throughout it. That's like standard, verse riff is really great. Stand Alone is like a super Clash influenced anthem.
Yeah, I like that one.
It's a really good song. Opens up with a guitar and vocal part that's just kind of that, and then the guitar picks up a little bit, and then there's a little more singing, and then before the drums come in, it's like you're already like, okay, where's this going? And you can kind of see where it's headed, obviously, right? But the drums come in, add a little diversity to the song before it gets boring, because a song that's all just guitar and singing. Look, Hey There Delilah is a catchy enough song, but dude, bring me something else. Bring something else to the table, please. Throw some drums in there.
Right. The acoustic.
But you can just see the crowd going wild for that song. Not Delilah. The Stand Alone.
Yeah.
Dude, the bridge in that song, by the way, with the solo, fantastic. Sorry, I dropped something sharp on my floor. There it is. Okay. I'm barefoot. I don't want to step on it.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'm over here fidgeting with a stupid like picture nail, and I'm like, I don't want to step on that. But this album's so good, man. Let's see. Oh, Stay Away. It might be my favorite song on the record, actually. It reminds me. That's the one that reminded me a little bit of One Man Army, but it also had some Lars and the Bastards feel to it. There's a lot of Lars and the Bastards in this album, but like they're part of that band. So like, it would sound something like that.
He produced the record, Lars Frederiksen.
Lars did? Does it say it on the back here somewhere?
Yeah, it's in the liner notes.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Shout out Lars.
Yeah, but he put him on. I mean, I don't think he engineered the record, but he produced it.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I did with that Petty Treason album.
Right.
It's on its way out too. Johnny, that's on Johnny. It's got a bit of a bouncing soul sound, and so's the theme, but it's like a story of like a grifter fraud dude instead of like an awesome guy. So it's not like, hey Johnny, it's like, oh Johnny,
Wait, is it actually called Johnny?
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
My man's like, I ain't read the song titles or nothing.
No, I did. I think it's that particular one.
And you have Class Separation, fantastic song, amazing bass tone in that one, dude. That was the bass stood out a lot on a couple of these songs.
Okay.
Let's see, another super good guitar solo in the bridge of that song. That one's really fast. And then I wrote down Cheated as another banger. It's a song about some crappy friends. Good palm muted guitar. A lot of these songs you think of punk and you think of like a that's not in a lot of this. It's a lot of open chord, like just fast guitar playing. But that song Cheated, had a good palm muted chugga guitar riff in it. I really enjoyed. But yeah, man, I listened to the album a couple of times. It's not real long either. It's 12 songs, 30 minutes.
Short.
Get in, get rowdy, get out. And dude, I think it's like a 9 out of 10 for me, man. Maybe even better than that. Even
I love this record.
Oh, dude, this record is almost perfect. What would I change? Honestly, this is gonna sound so crazy, but I would go. I would do what?
Just give it a 10. It's fine.
I don't think it's a 10. It's close, but I don't think it's a 10.
Okay.
I think if it had a ska song, I was gonna say go full on Rancid, go ska. Like
Yeah. Okay.
I might have given it a 10.
That's fair.
It's close, man. I might go 9.5 on it, dude. It's like really good. Like the thing is though, is that they've got a couple records that I like. And what I was thinking, I was like, okay, which one do I like better? Because if I give this one like a 9, but I like the other one better, then clearly I may have graded them wrong, right? But I think this might be my favorite one as well. They have one that's like a black cover with a red logo on it. I really enjoy that record as well. They've got some new stuff coming too, so that's pretty. I'm super excited for that. But yeah, this album is incredibly good for somebody in my shoes, somebody that likes the music that I like. When I think of like the heyday of punk for me, I'm thinking Rancid, U.S. Bombs, Swingin' Utters, One Man Army. Dude, this fits that mold like perfectly. So you don't get much better than this for me. You can show me albums that are classics, right? Like, please, guys, understand that I'm just saying this for conversation's sake. I don't actually care this much, but like, hey, Randall, what do you like better, The Forgotten or The Damned? Bro, The Forgotten. Sorry, like it's just my style of music, man.
Yeah.
So, saying all that, how did you feel about the record?
I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed it. Like I said, if I would have found this in like 1998, it would have been a different story.
Right.
97. But yeah, I think it's fun. I mean,
Dude.
I had a good time with it. My favorite song is the last song on the record.
Oh, really?
Shut Down. Yeah.
Interesting. That's a good song. It's a good closer.
Yeah, it's a good closer. I liked it when they slowed it down a little bit and added some single note guitar parts, and you just kind of like changed the melodies up a little bit.
Sure.
For me, once I got halfway through the record, I'm just like, all right, like I just heard this song, you know.
I can understand that. I didn't feel that way, but I understand why you would have.
So because it's like stylistically, it's in a vein, you know what I mean?
Right.
So they keep that style going the entire time, but if you like this type of music, it's going to scratch that itch for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, yeah. When I'm looking for this stuff, there's not many better options.
Yeah,
than this.
Right. I mean, but it's a fun ride. You know what I mean? Like it's an album that you can just kind of like throw on and just have in the background where you're just chilling and hanging out. And
this will do a lot for you in that regard.
Yeah. But like, look, I mean, I'm comparing a record like this to something like Last Word Spoken, you know, which like blows this record out of the water. So I mean. And also
blows it out of the water. I mean, I respectfully disagree, and you know how I feel about One Man Army.
Well, I mean, that's just my perspective, though. I just think that I think a band like One Man Army, not to compare them to The Forgotten, they're different, but
they are different.
I think that they're better songwriters. You know, I just think that like
so
each song is like. It stands out on its own. It's got hooks that like really like stick with you, and like you know, Jack has a way of like writing a hook that like not a lot of people do. So you know, it's a gift. I'm not saying that The Forgotten is bad.
No. I dude, don't. This is just a conversation. Don't understand. First off, I don't care if you like them or not. That's your opinion. Second, I don't think that you're saying that. We're just talking about it. I just thought blow them out of the water was a little crazy. I'll say this. I'll say that if you ask The Forgotten, they would probably say that One Man Army was a better band. I think they're that kind of people, right?
Right.
But when you listen to this album, what I can see is that I would say that Last Word Spoken, if we're going to talk about that album in comparison, is that it's a more diverse album.
Yeah.
I don't know that necessarily means it's better though. If I had to rank them and I had to be honest about it, I have to rank One Man Army higher. They're like almost as good a band to me as Rancid. Like they're almost that important to me, right? So for that reason, I have to be honest about it. But by how many degrees? Very few, man. A very small amount difference.
Right.
And when I listen to this record, I would say that you can hear by the different nuances and the handful of songs that do kind of color outside the lines that they've put down, that they have the ability to write different songs.
Yeah, they do.
They chose to not do it. And it makes me wonder, A, if they get older like they are now and they're writing new songs, A, what's that going to sound like?
Right. Yeah.
B, like, I think it takes some courage to go, okay, I know I can do something different, but this is what I like, because you're going to get crap for that. You know, when it dropped, I can imagine what people said. People probably loved it and people probably didn't, but that's for every band. I'm glad we can have an honest conversation. That's one thing that I don't want to do, is sit here and fluff a band or an album that doesn't deserve it. I personally love this record, but that doesn't mean you have to. And I think that's one thing that people really like about hearing us talk, is that we don't do that. Like, it's just, this is how we feel about a record. It is what it is. Dude, ain't nobody gonna be surprised about either of these comments, probably. Like,
No.
I love this record. 9.5 is where I'm gonna land on it. 9.5. It's so good, dude. Like, it's got very, 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 very small amounts of things that I would change in it. So
let's put it this way. I'm gonna go back and listen to it again, and I already found at least 3 songs that I'm like, I want to save these.
Nice. That's important.
You know, in rotation, because you know, at the end of the day, I'm a sucker for a good hook and a good punk song, and that's what they're bringing to the table, right? And you know, it's simple, it's catchy, it's like an earworm, right?
You know what people have to stop doing? They have to stop taking the words simple, catchy, earworm and making those bad words, because they're not. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying that you're making it. I'm saying that other people hear that and they take it either personally, or they go, oh, see, they said it wasn't. It said it wasn't what? They said it was catchy. Is that not a good thing? Like, I thought catchy songs were awesome.
Bands want their songs to be catchy, right?
100, I would hope.
Want people to like hum them and sing them, and for them to be stuck in people's heads. So it's perfect, you know.
Right.
My only critique of this record is I wanted a little bit more variety.
Sure. Yeah.
But you know, that's just a personal preference.
Right.
And who knows? Like, later in their career, like, they might switch it up completely. They might write a fucking ska song or two. They might do a new wave song. I don't know.
Dude, what if they came out with a new record, bro, and it had like, and it sounded like a East Bay 93 East Bay? Like, what if it came out sounding like Crimpshrine? Like, it was just like,
I would be like, wow. Like, I mean, I would be I mean, like, you know, you got to think, like, I look at those guys and I'm like, yeah, you guys are probably more in line, like, with the Clash and like Little Fingers and like,
oh yeah,
UK Subs and things like that than you are like with the other stuff.
Right.
But you know, you also came out of that scene, right? You went to those clubs and saw Crimpshrine play, Not Ivy play too. Like, they did. I'm sure, you know.
Certainly. I think it's cool because people always go, oh, I hate all the subgenres. And I'm like, how? Why? What do you mean? I like it, man. It gives us so many things to talk about. It gives us so many. Sure. Dude, you know how many moods you can be in with punk? So many, dude. You can have so many different moods where you can go, man, today I'm in a classic mood, man. Maybe I want to hear something like The Forgotten, but it needs to be a little slower. So I go, I'll go pull up, give them enough rope. Listen to that today. And then sometimes you're like, you know what, dude? I need like melancholy. I need like kind of negative. Lawrence Arms, dude. Go grab some Lawrence Arms, bro. Like,
yeah, that band will make you feel like shit for sure,
bro. In a good way. You know what? Before we move on to the next album, one album that I want to just speak very briefly on and give it a little bit of praise would be, freaking the new Teenage Bottle Rocket album.
Okay,
man, dude. Like, okay. It's been a while since I've listened to like 3 or 4 of their albums consecutively, you know? It's been a long time since I've done that. Maybe I need to go back and do that again, but you can hear on this new record, it's fantastic. I'm probably going to do a video going song by song. So I'll save that for that. But like, cool. Dude, it's a good record, man. If you're out there, guys, and you like that like poppy Ramonesy rock and roll punk stuff, they have definitely broken the mold a little bit, but in a very good way. They have a full-on new wave song on there, dude.
That's awesome.
It is awesome, dude. I was so happy to hear it. So, let's move on to the next band or album, rather.
Brain Failure.
Yeah, dude. Let me pull up the year on this one. Do you have the year available already?
Dude, I think, you know what? Hold on just a second.
I think it's 04.
No. Yeah.
No?
Hold on a second. American Dreamer. When did this shit come out? Oh, yeah. 2005.
5. I was close.
Interesting.
Yeah.
A few other albums that came out before this, too.
Yeah, this wasn't their first album. This is the one that really, like, at least from my perspective, this was the one that put them on the map. Because before this album came out, I didn't know who they were.
You know who produced it?
Lars.
No, the guy from Dropkick Murphys.
Oh, really? Ken or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And it looks like Mark Unseen was also on the record at some point.
Yo, I'm supposed to be talking. Dude, what a weird little like line of things. So we're start talking about Forgotten. I just recently hung out with Gordy on here and talked. We get to Brain Failure. You mentioned Dropkick Murphys. I'm thinking, oh, they got a new album out. And then you go, Mark Unseen. Gordy told me that Mark's got a new band and might be jumping on the show too. So we'll see, man. Shout out Mark Unseen. Hopefully it comes on. I would love to talk to that guy, dude. I love that dude's music. He's been in my life for a long time. So shout out the Unseen and A Global Threat. And then he said a few other bands too. But dude, this is like a 77 punk rock classic, bro. From China, from Beijing, China, dude.
Yeah.
So in 2005, we get Brain Failure, American Dreamer. Oh boy, we have a lot to talk about. It is weird too, because none of it's like, earth shattering. But like, I'll start the conversation like this. Just on a scale of quality, like just how good are these songs? Is this a good record? If you didn't know who this band was, and somebody was like, "Hey man, I'm trying to get into some punk," you could throw this as fast as you could throw anything else to them. It's got such a variety of sounds. Like, you want variety? This is the one that's got variety.
It does have a lot.
It's interesting because it does have a ton in common with the Forgotten. So it's weird that it's like simultaneously like the same kind of record and vastly different.
So while researching this band, because I didn't even know who they were until you brought them up to me, I went down the rabbit hole of the history of punk in China and kind of how, like, I mean, it was a communist country after the revolution, right? In the 60s,
Right.
Yeah. So it's like the ability for people to like really, I guess you could say, express themselves through rebellion was at times heavily censored, right?
Right.
So being in a punk band in China wasn't an easy thing to do, right? Necessarily.
I was thinking about that.
They had to come up with like a lot of like subversive ways to like, and I went down the rabbit hole of kind of looking up how punk even began to take shape and like a foothold. You don't really have like rocker fools out there until like the 80s, right?
Right.
In the 90s,
they're like 30 years behind us for sure.
So
musically.
So it was just interesting to kind of see, and I'm gonna keep going down this like rabbit hole actually.
Because good.
That's the way that they were able to, but without getting too far off topic, there's a whole fascinating like topic of like, so they weren't getting American products there. They're not getting CDs and tapes and shit like the media, right? Like, how are they finding this music? So what would end up happening is these like ships would be going to China, cargo ships, and there would be CDs that were fucked up or damaged, or tapes that had like shit wrong with them,
Okay. Like misprints and like just screw up CDs. Okay.
Well, not even screw ups, but they were like, what do you call them?
Like the throwaway ones.
Yeah.
Or damaged. Okay. Yeah. Damaged.
So then they were meant to be used as raw materials to be turned into something else. So then they would be sold on the black market. So a lot of the young people in China, the way that they found out about music was through these fucking albums being sold in the black market, essentially, that were supposed to be like crushed and like used to make something else, Yeah.
Dude, that's like some of the coolest information that we've come up with on this channel. That's awesome.
Dakou, call it Dakou.
Okay, so let's put a pin in that exact topic for a second, because I'm going to get to something.
Like I said, I didn't want to go too far off topic, but
no, that is important, and it's going to come up again in just a minute.
Yeah,
but I'm serious. I got something that actually really falls in line with that comment. But this album, there's a clear foundation of sounds from The Clash and Rancid. Mm-hmm. But I was hearing a lot of early 2000s East Coast, specifically Boston punk, like that band Far From Finished, Dropkick Murphys stuff.
Oh, yeah,
all throughout this stuff. Even in the dude's vocals, you can hear a very definitive Tim Armstrong, Mick Jones, Joe Strummer, specifically Joe and Tim. You could hear their vocals all up in this dude's like cadence and inflection. Even like his voice sounded kind of like him. a little deeper maybe, but it sounded so much like those guys. It was awesome. Like listen, I hadn't heard this in a long while, man. It's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
But like, okay, so if you go back and you look at the lyrics for Secondhand Pogo, over in China especially, and I don't I'm not very knowledgeable about that part of the world, if I'm honest. So I'm going to say things here that maybe they're not incorrect, maybe they're not correct. So if they are incorrect, please just understand that I'm not saying anything wrong on purpose. I'm not trying to be funny or disrespectful. Okay, anybody out there is watching this, I spoiler alert, love this album. So like this is just my interpretation of some things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they like the style and the lifestyle of American and UK punk rock. I'm not 100% sure that they 100% understand it though, because all their lyrics are like about the style and like the jeans and like the hair and like they're gonna pogo dance tonight. It's got the sound, it's got the look, doesn't have the same weight to the lyrics. Part of that is just going to be lost in translation. You hear American music, you're not from here, you just, oh, well, I like the Spiky Jacket thing. So we're going to write a song called Spiky Jacket, right? That's just kind of what they were doing, right? But, specifically in China, they live in a place that's really authoritarian. Excuse me, I can't say that word right now. Authoritarian. Good grief. So they may use punk as a more of a vehicle to escape the daily struggles and not necessarily fight against the daily struggles, right? It's more of an escapist song than it is like a rah, 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 get your people together and go march on the streets, right? This isn't union songs. This is like anthemic, like be yourself, have a good time songs. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, they couldn't actively speak out.
Okay, so that's why I was bringing it up, because you mentioned that and I didn't know that. So like, I don't know if I'm even articulating this right. It still means as much to those guys as it does to us, no doubt, bro. Like I have no doubt in my mind that these guys are like tried and true punk rock guys, right? This is no disrespect. They're awesome. The band's great and I love the music. I just think like I hear it and it's just so far, like lyrically, it's so different. Like it's just.
A friend of mine mentioned something to me. I asked him if he'd heard of this band, and he's like, yeah, so the bassist early on, the first bassist of this band, his dad was highly ranked in the Communist Party.
Really?
Yeah. So, he essentially had to quit the band.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, so there's two punk scenes in China at the time. There was one in Wuhan where the COVID fucking virus. Right?
Dude, shout out Wuhan.
Yeah, and then the other one was Beijing,
okay,
right? The capital.
Yeah.
So, those are the two kind of burgeoning rock scenes in China at the time. And again, I'm just barely scratching the surface of learning about the history of fucking punk and rock in China.
Sorry.
What's that? Go ahead.
I was gonna say they're doing it for slightly different reasons, but it's like the same thing. It's still their lifestyle. It's still just as important, right? It's all about perspective. So like, I'm saying these things simply because I don't understand them, because I've never been there. I don't know anybody that's from China. And I'm just thinking, if I go based solely on this record, that's what I think. It's not, again, I really feel like people might take it the wrong way. I don't mean it to be.
No, I don't think anyone's thinking.
I'm being as complimentary as I can, because I sincerely mean complimentary things. Sorry. I'm really worried people are going to freak out and take this.
No, you're fine. I don't think you said anything that's out of pocket or bad. I'm just saying that, like.
Well, then let me fix that and just let you know.
We're gonna start talking some real shit now.
Right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's all good, dude. We're both doing that to each other.
So like, I think there's a lot of context here. The reason why I personally found this album to be more interesting is because of the context, right?
Well, I mean, interesting. It might be more interesting. I don't know. That's a good word.
I mean, it's like, I mean, The Forgotten, it's kind of like, okay, punk band from America, from California, check. Cool. Like, for what it is, great. Like, on a musical level, it's more identifiable to me in a lot of ways because, like, I'm from here.
Right.
And so is the band and all that shit. But you fucking throw into the mix a punk band from China. I've never heard any fucking punk bands from China in my life. So then, like, I'm like, okay, great. Like, what does it look like to be a punk band in China? And I'm out here on
that's valid.
just looking shit up and like, oh, okay, just kind of going down the rabbit hole of the history of punk in China, because you can't really talk about the band as like an isolated incident, right? Like they came from somewhere. So
Right.
me, like I try to like, you know, nerd out and be like the historian, if you will, with this shit. So I'm like, fuck, like where did they come about? So this was one of the like seminal kind of like bands in terms of.
Well, I mean, they were huge, dude. This band was so big back then, man.
Right.
Like, I mean, and you know, in terms of like punk, they weren't, you know,
Totally.
they weren't like Green Day or Offspring or anything, but they were big, dude. And like, uh, you know, it's Pedro. Sorry, he's over here digging in my clothes. What are you doing, bro? Stop it. Sorry about that, guys. You know, like,
Yeah.
man, I wish we could listen to this stuff on here. I may have to do like a Patreon thing for this. Yeah, again, ad-free podcasting coming to Patreon, like with this episode included. Yeah, dude, it's just about like, do you love it? And I'll say this between the two albums, like, and I say this like, do you love it? Because I'm talking about punk. Like, if you love it, do it. If you don't. They're being just as genuine as anybody else. I'm just critiquing it because that's what my job is. I think that this album has the higher highs out of the two, but my personal opinion is that the other album's more consistent for me. Like I like every single song on that album. This one's got a few I don't care for.
This record's kind of all over the. I mean,
this album is freaking great though. Like, let me be very clear. It's a really good album, but it's
fine with it. It's a little long, but it's good.
It is a little long. It's 16 songs, 40 something minutes, 42 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. But you got to put that in context as well. 2005, band from China playing punk. They're going to have a long album. Like back in the 2000s, every album was long. Do you remember when bands like put out 50, 60-minute albums all the time? It drove me nuts. Actually, you know what? It didn't. It does now. In retrospect, it irks me. A 48-minute album is like way too much.
Yeah, it's a little bit much. I agree.
I will say though, the diversity in the sounds really makes this an easier listen.
Mm-hmm. Produced, it's very produced.
Very well produced. Very well played. The band did a great job. So I got some notes on some songs. Let me read them, and then you can respond if that's okay with you.
For sure. Go for it.
Coming to the USA, it's a legit classic punk song, dude. It's just, you know, lyrically, it's really catchy. Sure. Whether it's relatable to me or not, you know what I'm saying? The melody in it, though, is like really, really nice. Like that song it just sounds really good. And I found that happening a lot on this record. I would listen to it and be like, okay, maybe I don't relate to the lyrics, but everything about the song is exactly what I want in a song like this. It's really catchy. The melody's pretty. It's got some song lyrics that are easy to remember and sing along to. Right. I thought that was pretty important. Fun and Fight Tonight could literally be a song on Out Come the Wolves if you change the lyrics up. It sounds exactly like an Out Come the Wolves song, like down to the smallest degree. Again, maybe not so much lyrically, but the song is so much fun. Exactly the kind of song that I love. Adding a bunch of this to my personal playlist, by the way, and I'm looking to buy a CD of this ASAP, dude. The guitar on this song is very Lars-esque. There's a solo in there that sounds like something he would have played. Dude, the group chanting "Let's have fun." Or was it "Let's have fun"? Let's all fight tonight. Mm-hmm. Dude, that's like a theme song for me and my friends in the second half of the 2000s, bro. Like, this is exactly what, man, I remember this album when I started listening to it. I had like, and I didn't have a ton of experience with it, but I did own the album back in the day, man. I had this record when it came out because this band got big quick. And I think I was like fighting against the fact that they were a Chinese band because I didn't realize they sang in a bunch of English. I thought it was going to be all be in Chinese. And then I got the album and was like, I felt stupid. I was pretty late to the album. I probably didn't get it for 6, 7, 8 months after all my friends had it, you know?
Yeah.
Give Me the Cash, groovy Clash-inspired earworm.
Definitely.
Maybe the best song on the album, honestly.
I like that.
It's got the whole package, dude. The lyrics are on point. Music's very catchy and melodic. It's got something to say, honestly. That one's got a little heavier content. That one could have been a radio hit in the United States, in my opinion.
I think so.
Yeah, dude. I'm really glad we revisited this album. It was a, you know, very what's the word when you have something that's nostalgic. It was very nostalgic, man. I enjoyed it. Is it called Such a Dangerous? Is that what the song's called?
Yeah.
That was not really my style. But even though it's not, I still found myself like kind of bobbing my head to it and like listening to it. It had a kind of like a Latin flavor though. It sounded more like a Left Alone song.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Yeah, dude, and in that song specifically, the guy's voice really, 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 really sounded like Strummer. Like it was a very heavy Clash
Yeah.
vocal style. Hang Out Tonight had more of a gruff sound musically. That one sounded kind of like the U.S. Bombs or Swinging Utters. That's also one of the top songs for me. Uh, yeah, I put this is like a time capsule of sounds that are the most important to me. I'll put this was my sound. This basically formed my musical taste. So when I found out a band from China did it that well, it kind of blew my mind. I remember that, dude. I remember being like, wow, this is kind of crazy. I like this so much. Um, Also, the song "Come Together" with a name like that, how could you write a song called "Come Together" and it not be awesome? What a giant L would that be? Like,
Well,
they had this song called "Come Together," but kind of sucks. You're like, what? And then they have the song "New York City's a Closer." Um, that one was very clearly done in the spirit of Tim Armstrong and like indestructible. That song to me sounded like indestructible.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. I also gave this one a 9.5 out of 10. That was
Wow.
written down. That was written down before we talked.
9.5 out of 10.
The only reason that I didn't give it a higher grade was because it was a little too long and there was like two songs that I didn't really care for.
Big score. Big score.
Both of these albums are like exactly the kind of music I listen to every day of my life. Like there's some heavy biases here with these two. Like
Yeah. Go ahead.
when the guy told me that, hey, you should do these two, I was like, yeah, done. Like
He knows what you like.
right.
He knows that you're gonna love these albums, you know. I like this one. I had a good time with it. My favorite songs on the record probably That's What I Know. I liked 88 and 99 was a fun one.
Look what number that is.
It's After Summer Afternoon.
Oh yeah. That's actually what
was a fun one. Coming to the USA is a good one. Give Me the Cash is probably was I think I'm gonna call that the favorite on the record for me.
Dude,
too.
what about the song Oi Man?
I can't remember that one.
Dude, these guys are awesome. There's like, and I say this with all respect, dude. What a bunch of goofy dudes, bro. Like I wish I could have hung out with these guys. Like, and the thing is, I think they're still around, maybe, and if not, they were recently. Like,
I think there's some iteration of them. There's a documentary about Chinese punk, and they're in it.
Man, I need to watch that.
Yeah, and there's another band from China called SMBZ that was kind of contemporaries with these guys.
Okay,
similar type of music, but yeah, I would just really like to like look at more like the sociological perspective of punk in China to kind of understand where their heads were at with this shit, because it'll give you more perspective.
Well, even with my perspective of being like, yeah, the songs don't sound like they have all the sounds, but the lyrics are different. It didn't even occur to me that maybe they weren't allowed to talk about certain. It didn't even like I didn't even process that.
I don't know if you remember this in like history class or not, but in 1989,
I can tell you I don't.
In 1989, there was
Stand up and take a look around. Oh, sorry.
A bunch of students that were shot at a protest in China.
Well, that's not funny, bro.
It's not funny.
No, it's not. Okay, so in China, you said?
Yeah.
Wait. Students were shot during I think I do know about this. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah. So whatever, the military police essentially just mowed down a bunch of students.
That's
and you know, they were protesting whatever government stuff was happening at the time, and you know, it's a different place to be, and things are a lot more risky when you know you could potentially be killed for what you say.
Man, you ain't kidding.
So you know, you got to take things into perspective that way too. I don't really know, man. I mean, like, as much as like ideologically, I love the idea of Marxism and communism. It wasn't exactly done the best.
I've always thought of communism as like an impossibility, just because people are inherently selfish and lazy, and some people are inherently harder workers, and some people are inherently mean. There's not like a blanket statement, right? But there are people that are deep down inside a certain way, and there is there's no way to convince me that people would just suddenly decide, hey, if we can all, because I mean, we have that opportunity every day in America to decide that we're going to help each other, and we don't. You
Uh,
know, and I say we don't because I have to say we because we're one country, but like you know what I'm saying. Like
right.
it's a class thing, dude. Like the rich people, for whatever reason, don't see the need to help others. I can't imagine being rich and not helping people. Like it doesn't even. I don't understand that way of life.
No, I get it. But the point of me bringing that up was like, there's a lot of dark clouds there, right? There's a lot of history that this country kind of like underwent, and there was a revolution, cultural like revolution that happened in the 60s. So there's a lot of undercurrent and reasons why maybe music happened the way it did and why certain things weren't able to be said. You know what I mean? If you look at a country like Indonesia, for instance, like Southeast Asia, they have a crazy hardcore scene down there.
No, Indonesia has a crazy punk rock, hardcore, cassette tape. There's all kinds of scenes down there.
Grindcore scene too down there, like the extreme music scene.
Shout out Indonesia straight up though. Like you're not joking. Indonesia's rad.
Rad hardcore bands in Indonesia, man. Amazing.
Dude, they have like music like this Rancid-esque stuff. They've got lots of that too. I love Indonesia. I was trying to do a video on Indonesia and it just never came to fruition because of some stuff. I'll tell you later.
But they're more inclined to like be a little more political and like really like, because there's a lot of like crusty bands that come out of there too, and they talk about like anti-police stuff and anti-war nuclear shit and like xenophobia and all the bullshit that happens in the world. But like, I don't know like how safe it was to really speak out against the government at that time.
Probably not very.
So I mean, or politics or like on social issues and stuff. So, I mean, that's why you get songs like Hang Out Tonight.
Right.
And like, because that's as close as you're going to get.
I mean, if you read between the lines, you know what they're saying. I mean, look at, there's plenty of songs on here that you can just like, you can be like, yeah, bro, I got you, dude. I get it. But I mean, what you do is you take the sound and you go, okay, who do these guys emulate? Oh, The Clash and Rancid. I bet you they've got similar politics.
Right. So then you think about that. But then again, like, Japanese bands, you got to think like, wow, like no wonder there's so many crust and hardcore and fucking extremely noisy and raw bands that came out of Japan since the 80s. They got bombed, man. They got fucking destroyed. So it's like they're pissed off, And if you're gonna have any crust punk and D beat coming out of any country, Japan's the fucking perfect place for that shit.
You're not wrong.
So it's just it all just kind of comes back to like history. I think in a lot of ways. So,
man, you've intrigued me to go look into some stuff. If you get a link to a documentary that you think's worth watching, let me know. Send it to me, and then I'll also post it on the video. And I think this might be a part one of a two-parter with these two albums because I might have Rob listen to them as well. I would love to hear his feedback on them because I also know he likes this kind of music, but I bet he doesn't know Brain Failure. He might, maybe he does. He might.
Rob, if you watch this, I know I've seen your videos. You're an extremely articulate and intelligent person. So I'd be curious to kind of see what he how he kind of historically talks about this stuff. And it'd be interesting. I'm just scratching the surface and learning. So
it's cool, man. I mean, this is one of the beautiful things about having the opportunity to do this is that I get to learn things from my friend who I've actually got to be friends with because of my channel. Like there's so many reasons to love what I do.
Oh, totally.
And I get to learn stuff and I've never claimed to be somebody I'm not. So I have no issue being like, I had no idea about that. I'm going to go look it up, dude. Like it's all good. You know what I'm finding out though? The longer I do this and the more that I'm just open and honest about who I am and what I know and what I don't, I think a lot of people are like that. And people just want somebody else to be like that so that they can go, oh yeah, I didn't know that either. Because if you're always like, yeah, I knew this, people don't have the people
totally
right. People are insecure. They don't want to. And so then, I can handle a little bit of, people dogging on me just to get to the people that I know are worth.
Know things as long as you're willing to learn, man.
Right.
And have an open mind about stuff and just really.
Oh, dude, I didn't want to do all that though. I wasn't trying to like change my mind.
So anyway, this is cool. Interesting.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I'll come up with something. We'll talk again in a couple of weeks, man. I know you got to get out of here. Don't hang up quite yet. Everybody, thank you so much for your time. This was fun. Like these videos, man. Subscribe. We're trying to hit that 13K. We're not that far. We're like less than 500 away from 13K now, which is pretty close to 15,000. So
Right.
I'm pretty excited. I'm hoping the end of this year we're somewhere in the 15 to 20 range.
And if anyone knows anything about Chinese punk, please fucking educate me, us.
If there's anything I know about the comment section, is that if they do know it, they will tell us. I
Cool.
promise.
Perfect.
Especially if we got it even a little bit wrong. So
tell me I'm a poser that doesn't know anything. That's really what I want to see.
I've gotten to the point to where I think they've convinced me I am a poser.
That's cool.
And I don't know anything about punk.
Well,
I shouldn't be doing this, and I certainly shouldn't be helping my people and supporting my scene. That's terrible. Terrible way to live, Nitty. Awesome, dude. We'll come up with a cool subject for the next time. Cool. Anybody that's in Patreon, if you have an idea or you got a request, let me know. Dude, don't do that. Oh, he did it. Oh, he got there. He got there. I know who you're thinking of too.
What's gonna happen? Hey.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right, check this out. This is